Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Gaura Hari. Nitai Gauranga Jaya Nitai Gauranga Nitai Gauranga Jaya Gaura Hari. Nitai Gauranga Jaya Nitai Hari. Nitai Gauranga Jaya Gaura Hari. Nitai Gauranga Jaya Gaura Hari. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Prabhupada 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 Shri Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Prabhupada Shri Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada 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 Shri Prabhupada Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitai Gaura Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna. Thank you for the wonderful Kirtan. Can you extend for 5 more minutes as Mataji said to join?
Yes, Prabhu.
Okay, thank you.
Namaste Narasimhaya. Namaste Narasimhaya. Radha Radha Daiye. Radha Radha Daiye. Hiranyakashi Purushaha. Hiranyakashi Purushaha. Shiramanta Let's keep the
Yeah.
Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Hare Krishna Shreya Mataji. Thank you for the wonderful blissful kirtan along with the music and thing. It was very blissful. Hope everyone enjoyed and
Thank you for
pleased and showered the mercy. So yeah, Mataji is feeling well, so she mentioned she will join. So let's give some minutes. I'm going to share my screen. Let's give few more minutes. Mataji said to join. She's been not feeling well, so. In the meantime, anyone willing to kirtan till Mataji joins? Just a few more minutes.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
My niece will sing, if that's okay.
Yeah, yes, Mataji, please.
Okay.
Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Nityamine Krishna Pranaya Krishna Krishnaya Hare Srimati Bhakti Swami Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Pastyatadeshatarine Saraswati Devi Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram. Jai Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol.
Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Thank you, Mataji, for the wonderful kirtan.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Join.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much, Shreya, and the team of devotees for the wonderful kirtan.
Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you very much. And thank you, Tanigivil Prabhu, for coordinating today's session. We will begin with today's CC session. Prabhu, could you kindly put the PPT?
You're able to see, Mataji, I'm sharing the screen already.
Yeah, brilliant. Thank you so much, Prabhu. So today, it's a very, very, after a long gap, we have come back to the continuation of our session that we left long back, which was, Srila Rupa Goswami and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is meeting Srila Rupa Goswami at a very famous place, at Prayaga, and he's giving instructions, to Srila Rupa Goswami. So we will continue from there. We saw before that the glorious life of these two great personalities, Srila Rupa Goswami and Sri Sanatana Goswami, who are one of, they are among the 6 Goswamis. And, down the line, we have the desire to also elaborate more on the Goswamis as per the suggestion given by one of our devotees. It will be nice we can do a session on the Sad Goswamis, because these personalities, they were just here 500 years before, and during the time of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and are personally shown by example, how one can actually serve the Lord and develop that mood of devotional service. A lot of wonderful instructions, and also their life itself is such a amazing example. Though some of them, we can see that they have taken the renounced order of life. Of course, all the Goswamis, we cannot imitate them, but they have left such valuable instructions, and which by taking that in our life, we can see that we can also, greatly improve in our own devotional service to Krishna. So these are very, very amazing. Just like everyone gets inspired when they read some biographies of great personalities, the 6 Goswamis are so wonderful and so amazing, and every detail in their life, every step in their life is such an heart-touching and super inspiring biographies. So we will do that at some point of time. So here, continuing with Srila Rupa Goswami and Sanatana Goswami's glories, we will be seeing today a bit on how Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself personally instructed Srila Rupa Goswami, and who is considered to be the head of all the Goswamis. So we will begin with a verse, and we will continue. Sorry that I'm not able to come in the video, but we can see the PPT here, and we'll go ahead. So we'll offer our prayers before we begin. Om Jnana sorry. Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Shri Chaitanya Charitamrita ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. We are reading from Shri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Leela, chapter 19. The chapter name is Lord Chaitanya Instructs Rupa Goswami. And we are reading this verse 135. Ye mata dasadina prayage rahiya Shirupe siksha dila shakti sanchariya. Ye mata, in this way, dasadina for 10 days, Prayaga at Prayag, Rahiya staying, Shirupe to Srila Rupa Goswami, Siksha instructions, Dila imparted, Shakti Sancharya bestowing upon him the necessary potency. For 10 days, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu stayed at Prayaga and instructed Rupa Goswami, empowering him with the necessary potency. Translation purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. For 10 days, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu stayed at Prayag and instructed Rupa Goswami, empowering him with the necessary potency. So this is a confirmation of the statement, Krishna Shakti Vina Nahe Tara Pravartana. Unless one is specifically empowered by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he cannot spread the Krishna conscious movement. An empowered devotee sees and feels himself to be the lowest of men, for he knows that whatever he does is due to the inspiration given by the Lord in the heart. This is confirmed by Lord Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita 10:10. Tesham satata yuktanam bhajatam priti purvakam dadami buddhi yogam tam enamam upayantite. To those who are constantly devoted to serving me with love, I give the understanding by which they can come to me. So I'm just reading the purport quickly, and then we will go from the beginning. To be empowered by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, one has to qualify himself. This means that one must engage 24 hours daily in the loving service of the Lord. The material position of a devotee doesn't matter because devotion service is not dependent on material considerations. In its earlier life, Srila Rupa Goswami was a government officer under Grihastha. He was not even a brahmachari or sannyasi. He associated with mlechas and yavanas, but because he was always eager to serve, he was a qualified recipient for the Lord's mercy. A sincere devotee that can therefore be empowered by the Lord regardless of his situation. In the preceding verse from the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, Srila Rupa Goswami has described how he was personally empowered by the Lord. He further states in the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu 12187, Ihayasya harirdasya karmana manasagira nikilasva api avastasu jivan muktasa uchyate. A person acting in the service of Krishna with his body, mind, and words is a liberated person even in the material world, although he may be engaged in many so-called material activities. To keep oneself free from material contamination and attain the Lord's favor, one must be sincerely eager to render service to the Lord. This is the only qualification necessary. As soon as one is favored by the mercy of the spiritual master and the Lord, one is immediately given all the power necessary to write books and propagate the Krishna conscious movement without being hampered by material considerations. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitamena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sapitam Mena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapatantikam Mandeham Shri Gurum Shri Utapatakamelam Shri Gurum Vaishnavamsha Shri Rupam Sagarjatam Sagagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sakitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sagagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamsha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deena Bandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namosute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vancha Kalpatarubhyasya Kripa Sindhubhyevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Nitanamine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashyata Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasati Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Shri Chaitanya Charitamrita ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So this is a very beautiful verse and it applies for all of us. It can be taken as a great inspiration for every sadhaka, every practitioner in the Krishna conscious movement. You know, very amazing, and it gives us a lot of hope. And the Lord is giving us a lot of hope, and the Vaishnavas are giving, the Acharyas are giving us a lot of hope that we can, raise ourselves to the absolute platform, to the topmost platform of pure devotional service. Doesn't matter whether we were from a pious family or we were from a very, having many qualifications. Doesn't matter what was our background earlier. Even one could have committed a lot of sins, a lot of abominable things, but there is every chance for each and every one of us to purify ourselves from all our conditionings and can raise ourselves to the topmost platform of devotional service. So such an amazing hope-giving chapters, chapter, shloka, and also this entire instructions to Srila Rupa Goswami. We can see a lot of hope is there. So how the Lord is extremely merciful, that he's always looking for some little opening, a little bit, if someone has done anything, the Lord is just looking for it so that he can zoom it and he can make it big, and then he can award us the highest merit. So that is the greatest wonderful quality of the Lord, seeing something small but giving the greatest merit. In the material world, people see great effort and probably the reward may be sometimes less. But in the spiritual terms, even if we do something little, but from a sincere heart, the reward is amazing. So here we see Krishna, the Srila Prabhupada mentions in the purport, giving an example. Even though Rupa Goswami is a liberated personality and eternal associate of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he's bringing a point here that Rupa Goswami's life, if we consider, he was actually a government official, and not that he was from a very, he was doing, in an external point of view, that he was engaged in devotions service completely at all point. So he was a government official. He was employed to in a government of not a very cultured personality. Actually, to the Mlechas and Yavanas, Prabhupada mentions here as an outcast because I was mercilessly killing the cows and other living entities. So for such people, they were working. But you could see how they got the greatest mercy. So the the point here Prabhupada mentions also is here that to keep oneself free from material, obtain Lord's favor, one must be sincerely eager to render service. So how the Lord, without the main takeaway here is that if at all we want to, spread the Krishna consciousness, to everyone, one has to be empowered. Unless one is empowered by the Lord, it is impossible for that person to actually touch anyone's heart and make them, Krishna conscious. So if we want to make others Krishna conscious, first of all, we should be Krishna conscious, and of course, to make others Krishna conscious, we need to be empowered by the Lord, the special mercy of the Lord. But is it that the special mercy the Lord is giving only to some selective people? Is it that He is partial, that He will just to choose someone and then give it to them, and then they go and then they do the wonderful things? No, it's not like that. It is open to all. But who is going to receive? What is the qualification to be empowered? So how can I be empowered by the Lord? If we raise a question, how I can be empowered by the Lord? So the very simple answer the scriptures given is that to be empowered by the Lord, one has to qualify oneself. How? By devotional service, by engaging in devotional service, very sincerely. Sincerity is something is a very important thing. Doesn't matter how big activity we do or small activity we do. Sometimes then how do we check whether we are very sincere or not? It is not that we have to ask anyone. We ourselves will know. Just like if a meal is eaten, we know that our hunger is gone. We feel satisfied. Similarly, when we take up anything for that matter, a service, even it could be a very small service, are we trying to do the best of our ability? That is something to note. Sometimes we might have given 20% of our energy or effort, and we know that we are only giving that percent. So from the heart, even though we have an opportunity to give more, but we know that we are knowingly giving only that much. So then we see that means that it's not sincere. Or one may do certain things because, okay, if I don't do, someone will say something, or I may be questioned. So many external factors. So because of that, and it's not from the heart, it is just done for the sake of doing. So that those kind of things, whether others see or not, Krishna in our heart is watching it. So Krishna knows whether we are sincere or not, because he's constantly watching us. Paramatma, he's the overseer, and he's a witness. Upadrishta and Anumanta, these are the two activities the Paramatma does. He sanctions, he oversees things. He's not interfering. So he will watch what we are doing. So he's watching how sincerely we are doing it. So that's why it is very important that key of sincerity. The sincerity is a key. Many times you would have heard. So we can try to practice that in every small service what we do, right from chanting our japa to reading books to attend a class, everything, the sincerity. It's not that, okay, to impress somebody we are doing. We are trying to impress Krishna. That's a point. We are not here to impress others. We are impressing Krishna. We are trying to impress Krishna, trying to attract the mercy of Krishna. So if that sense we try to make an effort, then what happens? Krishna from within, he watches the activities of the conditioned soul, how sincerely the soul is making an endeavor, to please him, to satisfy him. Then Krishna empowers. And what happens? What is the outcome of that empowerment? That's where this sloka comes. Mukam karoti pachalam pangum langayate kirim yakripatamaham mande Shri Gurum Dinatarinam Paramananda Madhavam Shri Chaitaneshwaram. So what happens? The outcome of the empowerment? A dumb can speak eloquently. No qualification. The person cannot even speak properly. But we can see the person who is empowered by the Lord can speak amazingly, can touch many hearts. So, and like, says a lame can cross mountains. The blind can see stars. So what does that mean? That means even the impossible things becomes possible by the mercy of Guru and Krishna, by the mercy of the spiritual master and the bona fide sampradaya, and Krishna's mercy, impossible task. And the person may be not fit for doing anything, but because he or she is empowered by the Lord and the parampara, they can do things which are beyond one's imagination. So that is the power of empowerment. So here we see that one cannot spread Krishna consciousness without being empowered by the Lord. And how one gets empowered? By engaging in devotional service. And what is the spirit? Prabhupada mentions that's the spirit of sincerity. And then what happens? He uses a word, one must be sincerely eager to render service to the Lord. This is the only qualification necessary. He uses the word, one must be sincerely eager to render. He did not even put the word, one must be eagerly, sincerely engaged in rendering, eager to render service. Even that sincere desire to be engaged is so powerful. Then what happens is that one attracts the mercy of the parampara. One attracts the mercy of Krishna. Amazing, isn't it? So, okay, so this is what we are understanding here. So next, the point what here Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu emphasizes is that so he is that Mahaprabhu says, my dear Rupa, please listen to me. It's not possible to describe devotional service completely. Therefore, I'm just trying to give you a synopsis of the symptoms of devotional service. Mahaprabhu is telling that it is not possible. The Lord himself is telling, I cannot describe devotional service completely. Just imagine the glory of performing service to Krishna. The Lord is telling that I cannot describe it. I am only just giving a synopsis. And he goes on the point of the ocean of transcendental mellows of devotion service is so big that no one can estimate the length and breadth. However, just to help you taste, I am describing but one drop. That means Mahaprabhu gave teachings to Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Srila Rupa Goswami, right, at Prayag. For 10 days he gave, a place called Dasaswa Medaghat. So, this all things later, we see that formed this book, Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, the ocean of devotional service. We see that it is here, as Mahaprabhu says, it is just a drop I am sharing. Amazing, huh? Just a drop, he says. So, what is the drop Mahaprabhu has shared? Then we will see that. Prabhu, can you put the chart of rarity and the glory of Krishna Bhakta? Yeah. Okay, so that's what. So Mahaprabhu is telling here. Mahaprabhu is telling how glorious is this devotional service, how rare, first of all. And how a devotee is very rare, we are going to see. Because we are going to see the different classifications. And in out of that, how many becomes devotees? That's what is we are going to see here. So, so he starts with that. In that he says that there are innumerable living entities in this, limitless living universe, living entities wandering within the universe. And we know that roughly, it is mentioned in the scriptures that there are 84 lakh species of life, and in that it is mentioned that and the size of the soul, so 84 lakh species are there. That means there are many varieties, humans, reptiles, so like that we have different categories altogether. And if you take the size of a jiva is the living entity. What is the size of a jiva? The size of the jiva is 1/10,000 of the tip of the hair. So if we take the tip of the hair, divide it into 100 part, and one of this part is again divided into 100 parts. So how tiny and minute. So that is the size of the jiva, living entities. So this so Krishna says that the living entity, minute particle, he says, Krishna says that they are my minute particles. All the living entities are the part and parcel of Krishna. Mamaivam so jiva loke jiva bhuta sanatana. So we see that this unlimited living entities are particles of minute particles or spiritual entities. Um, and we see that they are everywhere in every planet. And the souls are never annihilated, but they are simply transmigrating. They keep changing from one body to another body. So in that way, we can see they are actually kind of punarapi janam, punarapi manam, keep on rotating the cycle of birth and death. So in that one, how the living entity, so we can see that picture, Prabhu, where we have the unlimited jiva. You have that slide. You can put that one.
That's a slide, Mataji. Different
Oh,
speed.
yes. Wait. Oh, this is the one. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So in that one, we see the unlimited jivas includes both movable and immovable living entities. So starting from there, so that means first let's see a bigger picture of this 84 lakh species, which includes both movable, immovable, all kinds of living entities are there. Then when you kind of go closely, then we they go to the human form of life, because we are now going to see the objective of our this discussion is to see how rare is to find Krishna Bhakta, the devotee of the Lord. So we are going to see all the categories, and finally we see how many of them take shelter of Krishna. So in that one we see, so there are so many movable, immobile living entities, and out of that, how much live the Manushya Jati, or the human form of life. You see that human beings, including both cultured, uncultured, all kind of humans. So that is the a little lesser section. You can see that in the green. So unlimited jivas then reduces to the, we are just now zooming in to now just the humans. And in the humans, we are both cultured, uncultured, all kinds of categories are there. So then going inside, we have got Veda Nishtas, that means the followers of Vedic principles. So you first in the human form species, we have those who follow Vedic line, who don't follow Vedic line, all kind of humans. Now we are specifically going inside those who follow the Vedic life. That is mentioned as the third one. You can see here, followers of Vedic principles. So the first one is shown in green color. Prabhu has put unlimited jivas. Then you see reduced to Manushya Jati, that is a human beings. And in the human beings, among the human beings, we are going and seeing the people who follow the percentage becomes even more less, the Veda Nishtas. Then among the Veda Nishtas, the followers of the Vedas, we can see that Karma Kanda, Karma Nishtas, that means those who follow Vedic principle for fruitive mentality. That means, okay, I'm doing this because I want this result. So among the Vedic followers, those who follow for one's personal motives to gratify their senses, expecting that fruit or expecting the result oriented following. So that karma nishtas you can see more. And then going inside, then you see in that one, some people are very knowledgeable, in the sense wise. They think, why should I actually all the time look for the fruits? You know, um, I am actually a soul, part and parcel of the Supreme Lord. So they start to think on that platform of not just looking for fruits, but going deeper to understand that in not in the platform of matter. Matter means in the bodily platform, but rather they go in the spirit of in the platform of spirit, as spiritual living entity and part and parcel of God. So I have, why I should be like a just working only working hard day and night and earning some little profit. I should go beyond that. So that percentage is even more or less. We can see here they are the gyanis, wise persons. Then you go inside further, then there are muktas. So those people who are liberated, in the sense, out of those less percentage of people who think wisely, how many of them actually are able to kind of free themselves, you know, from the cycle of birth and death, in the sense that they can free themselves from all this material motives and to serve in that spiritual platform. So they are very, very less, the muktas, the liberated person. And then you go further inside, then you have the Krishna Bhakta. That means someone who is, because even in the Gyanis, there are many who are looking for mumuksha, liberation. That means that what is liberated person. That means they want, their goal is that I want to just terminate the cycle of birth, death, old age, and disease. But they don't have the desire to be developing their relationship with Krishna. Mm. So that's not the highest platform. It is not just terminating the cycle of birth and death. That's not the goal of life. Because those people who think in that way, they get liberated, but they go to the Brahma Jyoti only, and they cannot remain there for a long time. That means the effulgence of the Lord. There is no rasa, there is no loving exchange, so they have to come back again to the material world and continue their journey. So that is also not the highest state, but yet they are somewhere thinking in a higher platform. So among that, how many are actually not only thinking what is just looking for fruits, what is the use of just looking for fruits, but I need to be connecting to the Lord, because I have a connection with the Lord. I am part and parcel of God, and I have a relationship with God. I want to reawaken my loving relationship with the Lord. So I must do something in order to awaken that love. I must engage in His service. I am His servant. Jivera Swarupa Hoy Krishnera Nityadas. I'm a servant, and the duty of the servant is to serve. So they engage in the devotional service of the Lord. So that means the Krishna Bhakta, the devotee of Krishna. See the percentage? Very, very less. So that means there may be so many living entities wandering in this universe. Out of them, the human species is very less. And out of the human species, the followers of Vedic injunctions are comparatively less. And out of the followers of Vedic injunctions, those who are following for some, fruitive mentality, for following, okay, I will do this, that percentage is even more lesser. In the sense, following with some motives. And then among those people, expecting the fruits, some are thinking little high. Okay, why? What is the reason? I'm a jiva, eternally, kind of a living entity, connected, soul. Only I should not see in the bodily platform, but I should start looking at the spiritual platform. So, how many people think in that line? Very less. In that, among those who are thinking in that higher platform, what is their aim? Only few of them. Some people just um, think, but even for them, they do it for various thing, because they may want to attain more knowledge, more things. But those who want to achieve liberation, comparatively higher. But even among that, that's not the highest. The one who actually trying to connect with the Lord is very, very less. So we can understand how rare is to become a pure devotee of the Lord. It's not just a devotee who is actually performing devotional service for the pleasure of Krishna. That's true Krishna Bhakta. So everyone is trying to become devotee of Krishna, but we are even among the devotee of Krishna, we have so many desires and so many this thing. But the pure devotee is someone who is actually doing everything to please the senses of Krishna, Rishikesha. So they are very, 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 very rare. Mm. So that's why, to get an association, to get the association of devotees, that's why you see devotees who are already in the association. We know that when we go to any place, The first thing we look for is that is there someone who is practicing, so that we can associate with them, because we know it is very difficult without the association to practice Krishna consciousness. And we see the majority in this world, what they follow, what they do. Everyone is trying to satisfy the senses, the material senses, by hook or crook. Some follow legal way, some don't follow even that legal way. How I can gratify every sense. So that's the main goal of this material world. How can I get material enjoyment more and more and more and more and more? So that's what is the majority in the material world. So we don't have to follow this, at majority, because sometimes people follow majority. What most people doing, I want to do. So we do not have to. We have to do what actually is the correct thing recommended. Could be could be a less percentage maybe doing it, but we want to be in a class, maybe a majority, maybe a majority of let's take a class where a majority of the students maybe doing something which is not correct. That doesn't mean that I have to do the same thing. It's not that I have to fall in that crowd. We have to see what is correct. That could be even the less number, but then that's better to follow what is correct rather than just following a crowd. That's not important. It's not that the majority wins here. It is all about what is recommended in the scriptures. So we see that it's not that easy. So Mahaprabhu is bringing the glory of the devotional service. So not everyone can actually be. Sometimes we may see that many people, even after sharing many things about spiritual things, they may not be happy to even kind of hear about it. Like Srila Prabhupada mentions about chant, 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 can't. So we see that it happens. But we do not have to be discouraged. First of all, the point here is that we have to be very, very happy. We should feel very fortunate and blessed. Or that, what qualification do I have? But I have got this very rare Krishna consciousness. Very rare, very, very rare. So we should become more very grateful, because the more we know, we understand that it is so rare. We will become very grateful, because all our acharyas have told, even though they are highly qualified, that they feel themselves very, very unqualified to receive that mercy. So we are, if we really see, we do not have to be humble, but we really see our own lives, how we were before and how we are now. After getting the seed of Krishna consciousness, how it has transformed our lives. No one has to say. We all know, each one of us can touch our heart and say how we were before and how we are now. In our own ways, we can kind of compare and study and see. Definitely, we have made a great improvement in different aspects of our life, in our consciousness. If we have not got Krishna consciousness, what would have been our position? We can put this question to our own self, where we would have been, what we would be doing. Very scary, actually, when we ask these questions to ourselves. So that means we are so much protected, so much guided in the correct path. So we have to feel very, very grateful, happy, blissful, and hopeful that the Lord has showered so much mercy through so many wonderful devotees, and through the parampara. So first, that is a point we have to feel that how blessed are we. And here Mahaprabhu says also here, the point is that a devotee is very peaceful. Why he's peaceful? He's peaceful because he has no other desire other than serving Krishna. In the sense, he may be engaged in doing so many household responsibilities. He may be engaged in carrying out so many material responsibilities, but the goal is to connect that in the service of Krishna. So here the point, even Prabhupada, when we read, Prabhupada mentions 24 hours. So one may think that is that I have to give up everything and then just to take up devotional service 24 hours. I'm not a sannyasi. I'm not a retired, vanaprasi. That means I've left home and then I'm gone somewhere and leading my retired life. I'm still a householder. I have a lot of responsibilities. I have a work. I have a family. I have to do so many things. There's so many, responsibility towards my community, towards the family, extended family. So you want me to give up everything and go? So that's not the scriptures recommend. Neither Krishna. We all know that Krishna himself advised Arjuna. Arjuna wanted to leave everything and go to forest. Arjuna wanted to give up his responsibility and go to the forest. We all know that. But Krishna said to fight, right? So that's not the point here. We all know that clearly. So here the point mentioned is that how are we connecting everything in the service of the Lord? So that is a point. So here a devotee is considered peaceful in the sense because he is not having so many motives, to do to please his senses. Because if you see a karmi, what is his desire? A karmi is someone who works very hard for what? For material enjoyment. So all the time he is looking for material. His desire is to please his senses. So if it is not pleased, he is disturbed. So he cannot be peaceful because he is doing a particular activity to make him happy. And if he is not happy, then he becomes disturbed. What is a jnani looking for? A jnani is looking for liberation. Oh, I have to achieve, I have to, free myself from this cycle, the wheel of birth and death. But if I'm not able to attain that, then I'm again get disturbed. That is a jnani's position. And then what is yogi? What is a yogi doing? Yogi is doing so many different varieties of asanas and performs various yogic postures, following the different yoga systems. What is his goal? Generally, yogi's goal is that, to attain the yoga siddhis, siddhi. Different kinds of siddhis, it is mentioned like someone want to become lighter than the lightest, heavier than the heaviest, so many different yogic perfections, so if they can't achieve that, they become very disturbed, huh? So but a devotee, he has none of these expectations. He is only looking for satisfying the Lord. He's not looking for material enjoyment. He's not looking for liberation. He's not looking for yogic perfection. The beauty is that he's not looking for any of these things, but he's automatically getting everything as a byproduct. He is able to satisfy Krishna. He also, is empowered, and he may even, kind of show yogic perfections without even asking for it. We see that many of our acharyas in our line, especially Rasikananda, he's a very great personality in our parampara. And we see that once he was, brushing his teeth. So when he was brushing his teeth, many of the village people, they came running. They were telling that, a great yogi has come to our village. He's flying. He's sitting in a mat and flying everywhere. Amazing. The whole village has come to see how he's doing this, how he has got this magical power. Amazing. And the whole village has gone to watch this. And he is doing all this, yogic perfection and is alluring people. So when they came and told Shri Rasikananda, he was just laughing. And then he said, he didn't say even anything. He was brushing with, those days they use this neem, that twigs to brush the teeth. So what did he do? He took that brush, that twig, and then he started sitting. It became like expanded, and he sat on that, and then he flew everywhere, and then he came back, and then came to the same spot and started brushing, and everyone was stunned. Oh my God, how he could do that? So, but a devotee is not interested in showing his power because he's not interested, to allure people. You see, I have got so many powers. I can do anything. I can take any form I like. I can bring anything from anywhere and show to people. They are not interested in all these things. But that doesn't mean we can underestimate a devotee. A devotee is so powerful that he can anytime, manifest any potency. That is the power of a devotee. But he considers that as a cheap thing. A devotee considers Krishna, satisfying Krishna is the topmost thing, not this yogic perfections. That I become lighter, then I can walk in the water and I show all these different things. And then that is considered as the topmost. They don't think like that. But they are invested with so much spiritual power and they can do anything they like. Many of our acharyas, we can tell many examples. So they are very powerful. But they are not looking for that yogic powers. They are not looking for liberation. They are not looking for material enjoyment. But these things are begging at their doorsteps, that we are ready to come and serve you. That is the position and power of a devotee. And he is peaceful because he has nothing of these obligations. So that is why he is considered peaceful. So and Krishna also says in the peace formula in the Bhagavad Gita. Anyone remembers what is the peace formula Prabhupada mentions? Anyone remembers what is the peace formula shloka which Krishna mentions in the
529 Mataji.
Sarvalokam.
Brilliant, yes, brilliant. Thank you. Matajis are very receptive, looks like 529. Anyone knows the verse? Anyone remembers the verse?
Yes, Mataji, is the 5.29 Mataji.
Yes, you can recite.
Bhoktaram Sarvaloka Mageshwaram Sugridam Sarvabhutanam Nyatva Mam Shanti Mrichati.
Hari Bol Jai. Yeah, so can you read the translation? No need to read also. What are the different aspects Krishna says? If we want to have peace, what are the different things? Prabhu, do you have just 1 minute? Don't give the answer straight away. Prabhu, do you have that question?
Yes, Mataji.
So without telling this point, we want to see one question. So let's see who can answer this question. So this is a peace formula Lord Shri Krishna mentions in the Bhagavad Gita. Very wonderful, very deep one. But we would have heard it many times. Okay, can you see here? To understand what is the peace formula given by Lord Krishna in Bhagavad Gita. To understand Krishna is supreme enjoyer. To understand Krishna is a supreme enjoyer and supreme proprietor. To understand Krishna is the only friend of all living entities. Or all the above. What is that Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita? Huh?
All of the above, Mataji.
All of the above. Yes, D is the answer. Correct. Am I correct, Prabhu? Naveen Prabhu.
Yes, Mataji. Yeah.
Yes. So we have to understand that Krishna is a proprietor. Krishna is a master. He is a real owner. He's a master of all living entities. And Krishna is a controller. He controls. We are not the control. Many times we try to control things, right? And then we get frustrated. Right from the morning, to the night, we try to control the time also. Oh, the time is flying. Many times we say, the time is flying. Time is flying. We want the time to follow our style. The time doesn't wait for any of us. Time is also the energy of Krishna. Krishna says, I am time. So we are trying to control everything. But if we understand Krishna is a controller, we cannot control. He's ultimate controller. We may control. We are chota controllers. But ultimate controller is Krishna. And Krishna is our friend, best friend. He's our well-wisher. Krishna is helping us every moment. So when we remember all this, and then we see that we can naturally become peaceful, even in an agitated situation, even in a provoking situation, even in a situation which is so critical, so difficult, so challenging. When we start to think in these lines, why am I agitated? At the end of the day, Krishna is the controller. So Krishna can do anything and everything possible. Why am I trying? Let me take shelter of Krishna. Let me depend on Krishna. Let me depend on Krishna, not depend on our so-called many external things. Let me take shelter of Krishna. So when we start to think in that lines and depend on the Krishna, we see that things do manifest so wonderfully, so wonderfully. Amazing it is. Just fine-tuning our consciousness, Krishna reciprocates immediately. We don't even have to physically act on a great percentage. The moment we turn towards Krishna and start to think in this way, when we are put in any difficulty, in challenge, when we start to fine-tune our consciousness and then take a pause and then start to think, in this line and mentally, oh Krishna, and we start to take shelter of him and depend on him and pray to him, beg to him for his mercy, we see that how much things immediately transform. Krishna can no time change when we turn towards, because we are Bahir Mukhas. We have turned our face away from Krishna. And when we turn towards Krishna, immediately Krishna responds, reciprocates so wonderfully. So immediately, even in a peaceless situation, we can become very peaceful internally by depending on Krishna, remembering this beautiful verse. Bhoktaram Yagna Tapasam. And Srila Prabhupada calls this as a peace formula. So when you have time, everyone in the call, we can go back to 529, read the translation, read the beautiful purport what Srila Prabhupada has given. Again and again. This verse is very important for all of us, because from every day we are actually, we rush to we are rushing all the time, whether going to school, to college, to work, to everything. Right from the morning, rushing, work, again rushing, targets, goals, family, responsibilities, so many different things. In a day, we have hundreds of things to do, action points. We miserably fail, probably do something. Many things are pending, always rushing. So at this point of time, when we are so disturbed, agitated, it's good to sit and take this scriptural advice. That's why reading scriptures is so important. Srila Prabhupada wanted all of his followers to read books on a regular basis. The more we read every day, many times devotees ask, going through different problems in life, different issues, how to come out of it. Of course, there are many solutions, many solutions we can see, angles we can see to a problem. But three of very important things which we can do, many things is that first one is, of course, as soon as anything is going wrong, the first thing is to work on is to our chanting, our japa, to work on our japa very deeply. And to become more conscious in our chanting, more attentive in our chanting, because chanting is a way to call to the Lord. And then so that we work on, and then taking shelter of scriptures, reading Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, so many books. Srila Prabhupada has given 80 volumes of books. Every day when we put a time, maybe I will read every day 15 minutes and slowly increase to 30 minutes. And whoever is reading books on a regular basis, reading the purport, not just a translation, the purport written by Srila Prabhupada, we are actually taking association of Prabhupada, and Srila Prabhupada, the entire Guru Parampara is guiding us. That gives a lot of strength. Krishna is talking through scriptures. Krishna talks through the holy name, because Krishna is not different from the holy name. And then praying to the Lord, because when we do this too, we will actually depend on the Lord more and pray to him properly. And then of course we seek the association or advice, or seek the mercy of a Vaishnava. We confidentially reveal our heart and then take help. So when we do all the steps, we see that we can easily come out of a problem. But if we don't do any of these things, it becomes very difficult. The problem only increases. So it's good to work on these lines to come out of our problems. So whatever our acharyas are giving are not just some imaginative things, something which we cannot put it in our life. These are all we can put it in our daily life. In our daily life, we can apply these things, and see, especially when we go through a challenging situation, difficulty, problems, all these times, we have to look more deep. It's just like a person who is sick takes a treatment or takes a medication. Similarly, and approaches a doctor. Similarly, we take the medicine of holy name. We need to see, am I taking the holy name properly, the medication? Am I qualitatively and quantitatively take the medication in the sense like properly taking as per the prescription? And then scriptures gives it that drive to do it properly. The value of it, the knowledge, because when we have a knowledge, we will appreciate more. If I don't have any knowledge about a particular thing, I cannot appreciate. If someone doesn't know a diamond and he just thinks it's just an ordinary stone, how he would kind of cherish it or appreciate it. So, but if someone knows that this is a diamond, he will not just put it anywhere here and there, but he will put it so safely and carefully. Similarly, when we know this holy name is so powerful, so wonderful, so amazing, what we have got is something beyond what we can. These books are like, can just guide our life amazingly. Many people's life just turned by reading the books. Even they didn't get an association of a devotee because they're getting an association of pure devotee Prabhupada. And Prabhupada is talking through the book. Krishna is talking through Bhagavatam. Krishna talking through the book. So when we read scriptures on a daily basis, when we do our japa and take the dependence of the Lord by praying to Him, and then seek the association of a Vaishnava and open our heart. That's the most important thing. Unless we reveal our heart to any Vaishnava, impossible to go forward in our devotional life. If we want to go very deeper in our Krishna consciousness, certainly we need to confidentially reveal our heart to at least one person, one devotee in this world. At least one devotee should know who we are. All our dark side, at least one person should know. Not that everyone should know, but a person whom we can trust and whom we think can guide. That person should 100% know our all contaminations, should know all our conditioning, should know all our negative things. Then only we can go forward. If we want to keep ourselves in good books, I'm perfect, I'm good, I'm right, I have nothing to, ask for help, can never ever improve in our devotional life. So that's very important thing we can take here, that we take shelter of a devotee. And Krishna, through that devotee, helps. So that's why it's very, very important. Of course, there are a lot more, but we know we are beyond time. So we will stop here. We will continue because there are a lot more to share here in the instructions to Srila Rupa. Because when the Lord is instructing through someone to a pure devotee, means through the pure devotee, he's instructing to the whole world. Just like Bhagavad Gita is spoken to Arjuna, but it is not just to Arjuna, but it's to the entire humanity. Sukadeva Goswami spoke Srimad Bhagavatam to Parikshit Maharaj, not Parikshit Maharaj alone, to the entire world. So it is the instruction from the Lord and the pure devotees. It's not just for that one individual. That one individual is a recipient, of course, direct recipient, maybe the direct recipient of that mercy, but through him or her, that mercy is actually given to everyone in the world. So that's a way we take those instructions very deep to our heart and then follow. We see the life, we see the solution for it. So we will stop here. Went beyond my time, and thank you very much for joining today. We will continue with where we left, and lot more to take. It's not just a class. We can actually see transformation when we take those points, some points, what we hear in any class for that matter, or any book we read, any lecture we hear, we capture at least something from that and try to implement in the life. Then we will see some transformation. Otherwise, Otherwise also it's good, because anything we hear about the glories of the Lord, it is purifying, but we can go, we can see a greater benefit when we put it in practice. So thank you so much for joining today's session, and thank all the devotees who are coordinating today's program. We have a birthday party today. I'm not there, unfortunately, but we like to, are they ready here? I can see Malya Mataji or there. So today is Malya Mataji's birthday. Is she there? Haribol Prabhu, can you see?
Yes, Mataji. Give me 2 minutes.
Yeah, okay. So is there anyone there who can say a few words? Haribol. So Malya Mataji is, so I think all the devotees would know, but if not, she's wife of Rajendra Prabhu, who is actually heading Jagannath Dham, and they stay in East Ham, and they have been doing devotion service for a long time, and along with the little kids, Mataji has been doing a kids program as well, and she's doing a Bhakti Shastri now, and she's very eager always to serve the devotees, good in cooking, and also a lot of service for Lord Jagannath, for all the festivals and special occasions. She's always there to serve Lord Jagannath and to serve the devotees. So we're very, very thankful. She has got a very beautiful name also. In the Malya, the name comes in Chaitanya Charitamrita also. It's a garland, flower garland. So it's a very beautiful name. So they have been serving here for a very, very long time, and they have a humble request also for all the devotees to pray for, they want to be connected, to the bona fide parampara. They would be seeking all your blessings to get initiated soon. They have done the process, going through the process now, and so please give your blessings, your prayers and good wishes for a happy, healthy, long Krishna conscious life in the blissful service of Guru Gauranga and Vaishnavas. So are you all ready, Prabhu? Hare Krishna.
Yes, Mataji.
Okay. So we will and next week is also one more thing. So before they come, actually we may have to interrupt this particular session today, because we are doing this I will complete this particular point, probably we'll see. Very, very, very nice, amazing things we are going to learn in the teachings of Srila Rupa Goswami. Very practical things, how we can cultivate the Krishna Bhakti, step by step process. It will help us so much. We can identify where we are standing, and also it's talking about removing the weeds, because when you plant when you're watering a plant, what happens? The weeds also grows, isn't it? So how we can carefully nourish the plant, at the same time how we can carefully remove the weeds, so that the weeds are not taking out, sucking the energy, so that the plant can grow well. Similarly, in our devotional life also, while performing devotional service, while cultivating our developing our devotion, there are many unwanted things also comes. But how do we carefully look into it, so that the devotional creeper grows without any impediments? If we don't look into the weeds and thinking that I don't care, I am just anyway nourishing my plant. You see, I am doing chanting, I am doing reading, I am taking association, I'm quite okay, I'm quite cool, everything is okay. But if you don't look into that other aspect of removing the weeds, then it becomes dangerous at some point of time, that this weeds unknowingly grow to such an extent that it will eat the plant. So we have to be so careful while performing devotional service also in the association of devotees. So if we give little, if we get the knowledge of what are those weeds, how do I identify? Say, for example, some people may want to grow a tulsi plant. You know, tulsi plant is not very easy to grow, right? Especially in the cold weather and all. Sometimes, you see that white bugs comes, some things. So we need to have the knowledge. Prabhu, can you unmute? Can you unmute for a minute? Yeah, thank you. So we have to be so careful that we know we should have knowledge how to grow a tulsi plant. So then we will know, oh, see the white spots are coming. Oh, see the it's becoming black. What should I do now? So then we will accordingly work on it. If I don't know, then how will I actually will be able to do it? We can't do it, isn't it? Knowledge is important. So similarly, if to grow a plant, we need to have a knowledge. What to speak about this devotional creeper? We should certainly have those knowledge. What are the weeds that I need to, cut it off, remove it. So that's very important. So we will see all those things anyway. So they are ready. Okay, Prabhu. Let's highlight Meena Mataji's camera, highlight that video. Haribol, can you unmute them? Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yes.
Yes,
Okay.
yeah, can you spotlight this?
Yeah, please spotlight.
How to do that, Mataji? Like,
Hope you are the host or.
done, Mataji. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Good, Prabhu. Thank you very much. Okay. Ready. Looks like a very special garland. Rajendra Prabhu, can you tell me what you have in your hand? Unmute Veena Mataji's one, please. Can't hear. Radha Landanishwar's garland. Jai Hari Hari Bol. Okay, please put Prabhu. Okay, mute. Prabhu, unmute please Veena Mataji's one. Unmute. Is Sadhvi Mataji there?
Yes, Mataji.
Okay, can you say a few words about Malya Mataji before she cuts a cake?
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. So we know Malya Mataji since last, I think maybe a decade. The first time we saw Malya Mataji is in the same house, 137 Burgess Road, and I think she was newly married at that time. She first came for UK, and myself and Nishu Prabhu, we did Damodar Puja in Mataji's house, and she arranged it very nicely. Along with Prabhu, Mataji has been actively participating in the services ever since Mataji. And she's very active in dramas, cooking services, and also Byron Avenue Kids PV Mataji is doing. And we have, from my interaction with Mataji, I have always observed that she's very caring, and she supports Prabhu in every activity Prabhu does. She never, she never stops Prabhu from doing any service, and she's also actively involved in many services like Jagannath personal service, and in here also among the devotees, Mataji always helps with cooking, cleaning, and Mataji nicely brings up the two kids in Krishna consciousness. She will always be teaching both the kids and teaching Krishna conscious songs, all these things. So we pray to Nitai Chaitanya Chandra to bless Mataji with a very happy, healthy and long Krishna conscious life ahead. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, Hari Bol, ready? We'll sing the song. Okay. Hare Krishna to you, Hare Krishna to you, Hare Krishna, dear Malya Mataji, Hare Krishna to you. May Krishna bless you, dear. May Krishna bless you, dear. May Krishna bless you, dear Mataji. Hare Krishna to you. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Okay. So in the meantime, when you're offering the prayers, we all in the Zoom can also chant 3 times Hare Krishna mantra for the well-being and the spiritual progress from Malia Mataji in the family. Okay. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Hare Rama,
Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Krishna
Krishna Hare Krishna,
Hare Rama, Rama Rama,
Hare Rama, Rama
Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare
Rama, Hare Rama.
Krishna, Hare
Rama Rama,
Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama,
Hare Hare.
Please cut the cake.
Krishna 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 Hare Hare
Devotees for everyone for praying for me, and please keep me in your prayers so that I can serve Guru and Gauranga. Thank you.
Jai Hari Hari Bol. Yes, Mataji, you can give it to Prabhu. We are going to show that.
So please forgive me because I know how I handle with the devotees sometimes. So please forgive me on this day. Thank you, Mataji.
Mommy, you know.
Okay, Hare Krishna. Thank you. Yes, Hari Bol. So those who are in 137 Burgess Road can get the cake, but I don't know, we can only watch the cake. Hari Bol, nice cake. Jai Hari Bol. So enjoy the cake, enjoy the prasadam, Hari Bol. So we thank all the devotees for today's program. We had the Panihati Festival Central level. Is anyone making any announcement for that?
Yes, Mataji.
Yeah, Shrikant Prabhu.
Yeah,
over to you.
Hare Krishna devotees, thank you very much for making it very successful Soho Panihati celebrations and all the circle level Panihati celebrations. It was really amazing response from all the devotees. So this is like we are going to finish the Panihati celebrations by next weekend on Saturday 25th June 5 p.m. onwards. We are celebrating this one, so please do not miss and try to invite your family members and your friends who are living across the outside the UK as well. So we are opening this invitation to wider audience, so like they can also try to participate and get the mercy of Lord Nityananda. So they can also participate in the Panihati festival. So we're going to have all the top 5 beautiful Panihati carts, and we're going to have same auction, and whatever the sponsorship we are going to get, all the sponsorship Lakshmi is going to Jagannath Ratha Yatra, the one which we celebrate in Ilford every year. So this year also we are celebrating Ratha Yatra in Ilford. So all the proceedings will go to Ratha Yatra only. So please try to participate and invite your friends and family, and even though they're outside as well. So I already sent out the flyer. So all the BV leaders and the everyone. So they will be approaching. So if you need more details, please try to approach the BV leaders and the festival leaders of your dam, your BV. So they'll be giving you more information, and we'll forward the flyer and the information again after this meeting and tomorrow as well. So please try to participate in the central level and try to invite your friends and make it successful. Thank you very much, everyone. Yeah. Let's all join and try to offer to Lord Nityananda, and I'll finish the Panihadi celebrations of this year. Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Shrikant Prabhu. Hari Hari Bol. We will meet soon. Hare Krishna. Thank you. Hari Bol. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai. Thank you, Mataji.
Hari Bol. Thank you.
Hari Bol.
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you,
Thanks,
Mataji.
thanks,
Hare
devotees.
Krishna.
Hari Bol.
Jagannath.